The secret to creating your best music yet, it's collaborating with producers. And so here's my best tips when it comes to how to do it right. Now, the first thing is going to be to just make sure you are keeping an open mind because, case in point, when I started dark pop, I ended up trying mainstream pop, I tried EDM, and then I kind of just got into weird stuff all over the place. But I ended up back with dark pop because that's just definitely my genre. It's what I like to do. But it's good that when you're collaborating with new people who have new skills and new ideas, that you just try stuff. Don't be afraid, right? Don't be afraid to experiment because you never know what you like until you try it, right? Understand that a collaboration really is a two-way street. And so there is going to be a little give that happens on both sides, and that's okay. My next step would be just to choose the right fit. If you kind of feel that there's a little bit of resistance in many ways, right? One of them might be when it comes to getting a contract. A lot of times we will have an agreement that needs to be discussed, which we'll talk about. But we'll be like, hey, let's have an agreement in place. What's the deal terms? And the person on the other side gets really offended. And they're like, no, I don't do agreements. If that happens, then you need to really look at, is this the right fit for me? Because at some point, if you're going to take yourself seriously, if you're going to be professional, you have to do contracts for every single thing that you do, including collaboration agreements or collaborations, which would be a collaboration agreement. So, if you're getting resistance, even on that front, pay attention, maybe it's not a good fit. But then also, maybe it's not a good fit because your styles, again, are just way too different and you can't meet in the middle. Stop wasting your time if it's not a good fit. Make sure you're also setting very clear goals. I'm kind of finding when it comes to collaborating with someone, sometimes the turnaround time is the thing that is the problem. So for me, when I have worked with producers, I want to move on stuff, right? I'm trying to get the project done. I'm trying to get it out. And so I'm working with someone and then they'll be like, yeah, I'll get it back to you. And it'll be like a month, right? For a small change. And so for me and kind of how fast I move, that didn't fit. And it goes back to the whole, it wasn't a good fit, right? But set clear goals of what are we doing? What are we trying to get out? When are we trying to get it out? And so you can really keep yourself on track. Again, with this mindset of you need to be a business. You need to act like a record label because a record label doesn't want to waste time spending money trying to come up with songs or coming up with songs and then not doing anything with it. Recap. Number one, we're going to keep an open mind, okay, when we're working with a producer. Number two, we are going to make sure it's the right fit for us. Number three, we're going to set clear goals as far as what we're doing. And then number four, communication is really important. And this is kind of, seems straightforward, but saying how you're feeling about something, or if you're uncomfortable with something, or if someone's being super just abrasive, right? Because we know those types, the super emotional, over the type, super direct, and it's hard to work sometimes with these personality types who are otherwise really great, creative. But I think that if you are not exercising good communication, and what do they call it? It's love languages, right? So you have to learn how to speak in the language that the person can receive the information that you're trying to receive, say. Because if you don't, then you're going to end up just kind of squabbling over stupid stuff and you're wasting time. So then number five, make sure you have a written agreement. All right, so I kind of teased it already. You got to make sure you get something in writing. And I'll tell you, for this reason alone, copyright ownership occurs the second you make the song. So that means if you are collaborating with someone, because they touched the song in any kind of creative way, they have co-ownership in the song. And this includes, even if you hired them, even if you paid them, even if you're like, I'm paying you $1 million and I will own the song. And they're like, yeah, of course. It doesn't matter if you had a verbal agreement. Copyright law requires that you have to have a writing that says who owns the song if you're going to assign ownership. So that's why we have a written agreement, so that it's very clear. And then it forces you to talk about all the other stuff. Who's going to release the song? Who has to pay the other person? What's the percentage? Who gets to make decisions if we're going to have it in a movie, right, or a TV show. So we're going to make sure we're also going to have a written agreement. I hope you guys find this helpful. Be sure to like this video, and I'll see you on the next one.